How are we, my friends? You are very welcome along to today's Anfield Agenda News Roundup. Thursday is upon us. The weekend is just around the corner. And of course, the Reds have no game this weekend. So you can rest up knowing that we're ready to go for that trip to Paris to take on PSG on Wednesday in the Champions League last 16. Until then, I'm going to do my best to keep you up to date with the latest news around our club, including the latest on Liverpool's pursuit of Alexander ISAK. We're going to be telling you what Virgil's had to say about Darwin Nunez, and of course some updates around the contract situation for Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah and Trent Alexander-Arnold. All that and more to come over the next few minutes, but once you've watched the video, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section and drop a like if you enjoy it. And also, if you have a look in the description of this video, you will see the link to our Hot Water Comedy Club end of season party show coming up May 28th. Myself, Chris Stonage, Connor Crosby, Steve Bland and Jack Gill all together for one night only to celebrate the Reds hopefully winning the league and who knows what else. You can join us 28th of May for this all ages event at the Hot Water Comedy Club, and you can get your tickets in the link in the description of this video. Right, let's get stuck into it. So, reports today, Anfield Sector Post, that Liverpool are said to have a growing interest in Alexander ISAK. Now, this isn't just one outlet reporting it. We've covered this over the last 48 hours or so. There does seem to be an acceptance that Alexander ISAK will be Liverpool's primary target up top. But as I've said all the way through, I don't know if it's feasible or not until we see whether Newcastle can confirm Champions League football for next season. There was a report to say that Newcastle were holding meetings over this week around the future direction of the football club regarding what happens if they don't get Champions League, Europa League and all the other things in between. But make no mistake, he is a target for Liverpool, as I'm sure he is for Arsenal and many other top clubs. The price tag has always been the thing for me that makes it the most worrying about the situation, because you're talking 150 million here being the price tag that Newcastle would ask for ISAK. But if they don't get Champions League football and if he angles for a move away, you never know. But that being said, there have been some genuine concerns raised from Liverpool fans about ISAK's availability. We seen last night when we took on Newcastle that he wasn't available for what was a big game for Newcastle. Now, of course, they may just be trying to rest him up to make sure he's okay for the League Cup final, but that was a game last night Newcastle really could have done with some points from, and thankfully for us, they didn't get any, because we are now, and I'm sure you're aware of this, 13 points clear at the top of the Premier League, even though Arsenal do have that one game in hand. Now, we're going to go through tonight on the Late Night Agenda our next 5 games versus Arsenal's next 5 games, and I think you'll see the Gunners drop more points, whereas I fancy us, well, I fancy a full 15, to be honest. Let's talk about another record from the great man Mohamed Salah for a minute. This piece here from LFC Transfer Room say that Mohamed Salah is the only player in Premier League history to have 10 goal contributions within a single month in 3 different months. December 2018, 10 goals and assists. December 2024, 14 goals and assists. And February 2025, 10 goals and assists. Just when you think he's running out of records, there's more and more angles to find. And I'm not talking about Arsenal fan type of angles here to make themselves feel better. You may have seen the one today doing the rounds. A list of managers that have done 89 points in the Premier League. And you ask yourself, hang on, why have they gone with 89? The reason they've gone with 89 is because Arteta and Arsenal haven't got to the 90, so they have to try to make themselves feel better. Most people would have gone with 90. Nice round number. But then you wouldn't have been able to include Arsenal to try and justify Mikel Arteta's failures once again in the Premier League. But it's okay. We got you. We see you. Next up, Liverpool, according to the Opta analysts, have a 99% chance now of winning the Premier League this season. Come on now. Surely you can't be in one of those 1%. Join it. Get on HMS Pistol League. It's very good on here. There's lots to do. Barbecues every night. And we enjoy ourselves. So come and join the party. Right, so we talked about goals and assists from Mohamed Salah. Let's look at midfield for a minute, because it's certainly been a bone of contention for Liverpool fans that we aren't getting enough goals and assists from midfield in recent seasons. Well, right now, this season, Anfield Edition posts to say 21 goals and assists between them this season for Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis McAllister. Obviously both of them on the score sheet as well last night, and it's brilliant to see. It is absolutely fantastic to see these guys do what they're doing, and Dom hasn't even hit his peak yet. Alexis McAllister proving to be an absolute bargain, the money we paid for him, and long may that continue. 2 absolutely top-notch midfielders there. I'm proud to have them in Liverpool shirts. So I did say to you at the start of the video, we're going to have a little bit from Virgil van Dijk on Darwin Nunez. This is what our captains had to say. Everyone has a big role to play. I mentioned it after the Villa game that everybody has that big role. We live in this together and we need everybody. We're all in this together. We need everybody. He's a big part of our team. When he comes on, he has to make a positive impact. Today and the rest of the boys who came on made that impact, and that's why we need to keep going. I think it's not something for the whole squad. I think it's the bare minimum which has to be asked from us from day one, and I think it's the bare minimum for anybody playing for Liverpool Football Club. It was more down to him, and it's still down to him, and I think he showed a great reaction today in his work rate coming on. That should be the minimum, and he knows it, and he has to keep going. Though obviously we only got a very small sample size yesterday of Darwin Nunez unrighted to death, but I'm glad that the manager and the captain are calling out the lack of work rate, because that's something we've never seen from Darwin before. So hopefully he keeps his head down between now and the end of the campaign. So there was news breaking over the last few days that a contract offer had gone in to Joshua Kimmich from Bayern Munich, and they expected it to be signed. And now breaking news coming out from Bild over in Germany, or Bild Sport, to say that Bayern has withdrawn its contract offer for Joshua Kimmich, meaning he's probably going to be on the market. So to finish up today, we're going to have a little minute or two about the contract situation with Virgil van Dijk and Mohamed Salah, and then we'll move on to Trent. So David Ornstein says, talks continue and there has been long optimism around Anfield in regard to Salah and Van Dijk. I'm not aware of agreements being reached, but both players seem keen to stay. Plus, as far as we know, Liverpool absolutely want to keep them both. So hopefully we do get a resolution here where we get the outcome that we want. But also speaking about the contracts, David Ornstein said this: as they do want to keep Trent, but we all know the situation is different with Trent. He's younger and has Real Madrid knocking on his door. The consensus around the industry is that maybe Salah and Van Dijk will renew, while perhaps Trent Alexander-Arnold will go, but nothing appears set in stone yet. Again, all I ask for here is clarity on the Trent situation. So I hope that he comes out and addresses it soon. But as you can see, the growing perception, as David Ornstein said in the industry, is that Mo and Verge will stay and that Trent will leave and join Real Madrid. Now, speaking about moving to Spain, I've got a bit of a segue here. This piece here from Caught Offside said that Atletico Madrid are weighing up a move for Liverpool striker Darwin Nunez as Diego Simeone looks to reshape his attacking options ahead of next season. They say that the Spanish sides are long-term admirers of Darwin Nunez and could see him as a valuable addition to the squad. It goes on to say, with Julian Alvarez at the club and Antoine Griezmann's future uncertain, Atletico have broadened their search, also considering Crystal Palace's Jean-Philippe Mateta and Wolves' Fabio Silva. However, Liverpool's reported willingness to offload Nunez makes him a particularly appealing option. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is the latest from Anfield Agenda and, of course, around the Liverpool news world. We will see you at 8:45 tonight for the Late Night Agenda, where we'll go through it and lots more, including a look at our next five and Arsenal's next five. Until then, don't forget, if you want to come and see us for a live show, you can get the tickets in the description of this video. And I'll see you at 8:45. Much love. Bye-bye.